Alright, now we're going to divide polynomials using long division. Now, this is basically the same algorithm as numeric long division. So we're going to kind of follow along the same process. And what you'll end up seeing is you'll have this, and I'll say x cubed minus 2x squared plus 3x plus 1, and we're going to divide it by x minus 4. So the key to all of this is one specific term, and let me get my highlighter so I can highlight it, and I'll highlight it in a weird color so you can see it. It's this guy right there. It's the first term in our divisor here. That x, we want to make the first term that I highlighted here, this guy right here, into the term we are basically trying to eliminate. So if you want to think of it in terms of this guy right here is going to attack the different terms as long as this term can. So for example, as long as you can multiply something times this term and make it into these terms. So we're going to always start with the first one. So x cubed. So what times x squared, or I just gave you the answer, x times x squared is equal to x cubed. So I'm going to put that over the x squared column, and now I'm going to take x squared times x minus 4 and get x cubed minus 4x squared, and I'm going to subtract. So that's exactly like we used to do when we would just we'd use long division with numbers. So x cubed minus x cubed is 0. Negative 2x squared minus a negative 4x, which is plus 4x. So that's plus 4x squared, so that's a 2x squared. Yes, there you go. Now, you too. These videos sometimes, we get some people moving in and out. That's okay. X. What do I do to x to turn it into 2x squared? Well, first I have to multiply it by a 2, because then 2 times x is 2x. But then I have to multiply it by an x, and so I get 2x times x minus 4, which is 2x squared minus 8x. I got to bring down the 3x, which is normal in long division, and I'll get 2x squared minus 8x. And now I'm going to subtract these guys. The first two divide out, which is what we want, or subtract out, so I get a 0. And then I have 3x minus a negative 8x, so 3x plus 8x. So this is going to give me 11x. Now at this point, since I have an x here and an x here, this is the last step that we can possibly do. I'm going to bring down the 1. And in order to get from x to 11x, I got to multiply by a positive 11. So 11 times x is 11x. 11 times negative 4 is negative 44. Then I'm going to subtract this guy, and I'll get 11x minus 11x is 0, which is what we want. Then 1 minus a negative 44 is positive 44. No, positive 45. Sorry. This is what we call a remainder. And what we'll do is we'll bring this up here, and I'll put a plus sign, and then I'll take the remainder, which is 45, or it could be a negative number, which is no big deal, and it's going to be divided by the x minus 4, what we divided by up here. So the answer is x squared plus 2x plus 11 plus 45 divided by x minus 4. And that's our final answer when you divide this binomial, or this polynomial, divided by this guy right here. So, long division, it is exactly the same algorithm. You just got to be really careful with it, and you might end up with your remainder.